on. George Lucas, now I'm out here killing clones. Coming in strong like tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Boosted up my cardio, I used to get to run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down.
Tonight.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16.
This taken in at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out onto the field comes the Colts offense for their first series. And at quarterback, a new name this year to the franchise, of course, but certainly not new to the league. A 15-year vet, former league MVP, Matt Ryan.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
Nifty move. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. They'll take that 14 yards on play number 1. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Again, it's Taylor.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. We take a look at his numbers on the ground last week. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Up the middle, here's Taylor. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Running straight ahead, Taylor.
And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And that's caught left side by Mo Alley-Cox.
And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now.
So Ryan heads to the sideline, and out now is Rodrigo Blankenship for the Indianapolis field goal try. Blankenship's kick is good.
And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0.
All in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
The Charger offense makes its way out for the first time in this ball game, and leading the way, already a star in just his 3rd season, it's Justin Herbert.
It hasn't taken Herbert long to earn this status as one of the league's best and most entertaining passers. He's locked and loaded on every snap, and the second he sees an opening, the ball's soaring downfield. You've got to be on your A game at all times against him. The second you slip up, he's liable to burn you.
Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10
at their own 21. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Herbert now.
He dumps it to Eckler underneath.
And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. Their opening drive here is going to result in a punt. They got 7 yards there, but not enough.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
58 yards rushing for him in this one as he starts to draw nearer to a 1,500-yard campaign.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The Colts at 500, 7-7 on the year. They were losers their last time out. Trying to get back in the win column, but obviously not an easy task here in a hostile environment.
Yeah, always tough to win away from home. But sometimes what you do is you use these types of games as bonding experiences and carry that into the contest.
Defense blitz, but they picked it up pretty well.
Allowed their man to stand firm in the pocket and not be hurried, didn't it? That allowed him to make the nice throw downfield to help complete that play.
1st and 10, Taylor now.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations.
And this time he is in.
Yes.
Jonathan Taylor with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
So another rushing touchdown for him this year. Boy, he's found the end zone quite a bit so far. Charles, that now an even 20 scores on the season.
And you know how often we use the term, probably I overuse the term, imposing their will? Well, these defenses have become really powerless to stop him. That's what we've seen from him and his team this year. You know he's getting the ball down here in the red zone, but he's just got that strength of will himself, and he's used it to great effect.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Chargers get set to go here for their 2nd drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the 50, here's Herbert. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. DeForest Buckner make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
And I believe that gain on 3rd and long changes things quite a bit because this would be a very long field goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. They spot it on the midfield stripe. So it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And they will not cut into that 10-point lead.
I don't care who you are. 60 yards is a very ambitious attempt. Hard to make even in practice in the best of conditions. And now, worst of all, you give the other guys the ball to start their drive at midfield.
From the gun, it's Taylor. 63 yards rushing for him now to this point. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Now Ryan. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least it'll be 4th down. They'll try and throw for him with Ryan. Oh, he's got his tight end, Mo Alley-Cox, complete. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a pass dumped off to his running back, and he is out of bounds inside the 30.
And good yardage there on 1st down because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And now off to the races down the right side. And he takes it back to the house. It's a fumble recovery and a Charger touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Extra point good by Hopkins, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And quickly, they get to the line. On first down, Ryan. Flush to his right. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
And here is a leaping catch. He pulled it in. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. To throw again is Ryan. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Kiki QT in the final seconds of the first half. And the Colts would extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. Taken in at the 3. So we hit halftime here in Indianapolis with the Colts on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin out in the windy city of Chicago. And they are seconds away from halftime, all tied in that one. From there, let's head off and check out AC.
Well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the 3rd quarter. The Chargers going to get the football first here in this 2nd half, and they trail as we get back underway. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Charger drive about to get going. As they begin their 2nd half here, Charles, offensively, not where they want to be, obviously. They're losing in this ball game, but very much within striking distance. We'll see what adjustments they make in the 2nd half.
Is that the old glass half full, half empty type of a deal? Which way do you want to look at it? Because you're right, they're down on the scoreboard. But there are definitely opportunities now because if they want to go ahead and get going in this one, get back to the running game. I think there are going to be some places to go with it, and I think the offensive line will appreciate the chance to fire out and hit people.
That's a good point because they virtually had nothing going in the ground game in that first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Once more, here's Eckler. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Here's Herbert. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. Offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Spiller. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the 2nd half. Ryan and the Colts getting set here, 1st and 10. At the 20. He'll start with a give to Taylor. Oh, good move. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 24, Ryan. He'll get that one to Taylor complete. Gets around him, and he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
Well, partner, they've used him quite well out of the backfield in this one, and here's another nice example. They set up the screen, and he's able to pick his way downfield for a nice gain there.
They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. Hits his target, the tight end, Mo Alley Cox. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
And I feel a little bit like a traitor as a former defender because that big man did not want to go down and refused to go down. If you're a defender and you don't get the right angle on a big tight end like him, he can run right through you like you're not even there, and he did a lot of that on that play.
And he's able to skip away from that first defender on his way to a pickup of 5. 2nd and 5. They give to Taylor out of the gun. A nice little juke. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 85 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the 2nd half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
It's a gain of 6. Moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll run here with Taylor. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. From the shotgun, Ryan. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers are right back in this football game. The Charger drive about to get going. The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores.
Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted.
And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
They run once more with Taylor.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Here's Ryan to throw. To the right side, complete to Taylor. Touchdown, Colts!
Jonathan Taylor.
He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Colts look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. An important score there, CD, and now an important extra point because it would make it a 3-score game.
Love the math there, and at this point in the 4th quarter, look, we all need next-gen stats, right? We all use them, but we don't need them here, do we? Because that means it's almost a certain victory.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
19 yards there on the catch and run.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw going into the hands of Williams.
So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore.
And the Colts are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle, feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
On third down, here's Taylor. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 144 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's going on. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Good gain there on 1st down and keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And he is going to have a Colts 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Colts, the win moves them to 8-7 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, they're guaranteed now a sub-500